Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going on this really cool adventure. We're going to follow the journey of just one single breath of air as it travels through your body. Pretty wild, right? Okay, let's get into it. I mean, think about it. You breathe all day, every single day, without even thinking about it. But have you ever stopped and wondered, hey, what's actually going on inside me? Well, today we're going to find out. We're going to follow that whole amazing process from the very start to the very end. All right, first things first. Before we jump into how we breathe, let's talk about why we breathe. It's like the most basic but also the most important thing our bodies do. Seriously. So the reason is actually super simple. We breathe to live. That's it. You can think of your body as this incredible machine, right? And like any machine, it needs fuel to keep going. Well, our body's special fuel comes right from the air we breathe. Okay, so let's start the journey. It all kicks off with that big breath in. The sciencey name for this is inhalation, but we'll just call it breathing in. Let's follow that air and see where it goes. So check this out. The air follows this really simple three-step path. First, it comes in through your nose or your mouth. Then, it goes down this tube called the trachea. That's just a fancy word for your windpipe. And finally, whoosh, it fills up your lungs like a balloon. You know what? Go ahead and try it right now. Take a really big, deep breath in. Can you feel that? Your whole chest gets bigger. It moves up and out. That's the first clue to everything that's happening on the inside. So, what's behind that feeling? Well, the whole reason we're breathing in is to grab this super important gas called oxygen. Oxygen is the fuel our body runs on, remember? And to get as much of it as possible, your lungs expand, which makes your chest rise. At the very same time, there's this big muscle just underneath your lungs. It's called the diaphragm, and it moves down to make even more room for all that good oxygen-filled air. And hey, here's a fun little science fact for you. Did you know your two lungs aren't actually the same size? Nope, your left lung is just a little bit smaller than your right one. And you want to know why? It's to make some extra space for a very, very important neighbor, your heart. Okay, so the air has made it into the lungs. Now, this is where the real magic happens. It's probably the most important part of the whole journey. Scientists call it gas exchange, but I think a cooler name for it is the Great Gas Swap. So what is this swap? Well, think of it like making a trade. Your body is saying, I really need that oxygen you just brought in. In exchange, it gives back something it needs to get rid of, this waste gas called carbon dioxide. It's like trading the good stuff for the used stuff. And what's so clever is that this whole swap happens inside millions of tiny, tiny little air sacs in your lungs. So your body gets that fuel it needs like instantly. And this really makes that swap super clear, right? The air we breathe in has way more oxygen, but the air we breathe out, that's carrying away all that carbon dioxide waste. Just like that, the trade is done. All right, so the swap is complete. We've got the good stuff. Now it's time to get rid of that used air. And this process has its own sciencey name too, exhalation, or just breathing out. And this path should look pretty familiar. Why? Because it's the exact reverse of the journey in. The air, now full of that carbon dioxide, leaves your lungs, travels back up the windpipe, and then exits right out your nose or mouth. Easy. Okay, let's try the opposite thing now. Go ahead and breathe all the way out. Feel that? You can feel your chest doing the complete opposite of what it did before. It falls and gets smaller as all that air leaves your body. So when you breathe out, everything just goes into reverse. Your lungs get smaller, which helps push the air out. Your chest moves back inward, and that diaphragm muscle, it moves back up into place. And the air that you're pushing out is now loaded with all that carbon dioxide your body was so eager to get rid of. So we breathe in, we breathe out. It's a constant cycle. But do we always do it at the same speed? No way. Our body is super smart, and it actually changes our breathing rhythm depending on what we're up to. There's a name for this, of course. It's called your respiratory rate. And it's actually really easy to figure out. All you have to do is count how many times your chest rises and falls in 1 minute. That number, that's your breathing speed. And as you can see, it can change a lot. When you're just chilling out, maybe you're sleeping or reading a book, your breathing is slow and steady. Your rate is low. But the second you start running around and being really active, that rate shoots way, way up. So why does it change so much? Well, when you exercise, your body is working way harder, and it starts demanding more of that oxygen fuel we talked about. So your brain sends this like urgent text message to your lungs that says, hey, we need more oxygen down here. Speed it up. And the most amazing part? You don't even have to think about it. Your brain does all of this automatically, always adjusting your breathing to give your body exactly what it needs right when it needs it.
So here's a little challenge for you. Next time you're out running or playing, just for a second, pay attention to your breath. Feel how your chest is moving up and down so much faster. And now you'll know exactly what's happening. It's just your body telling you it needs more of that amazing fuel, more oxygen.